Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Craft and Chat. Hopefully, everybody is doing good this morning. It's a nice chilly morning this morning. It wasn't chilly, and yesterday was a little hotter, and then today it has gotten a little chilly again. And I know that we're going to get like a little cold snap coming up here in the next couple of days. So we'll say hello to everybody really quick this morning. There is Joe Fix It For You. Hello, my dear. There is Wendy at Hardnack Farms. She said, second place, Joey. Dang it. There is Lazy Days Ahead. That was earlier this morning. That was at 2:13 a.m. my time. Man, somebody was up late playing on his computer. There's Nanny Tam, and she was in this morning at 7:15. And Joey this morning. So, and he said, good morning, chatters. For here for Craft and Chatty. There is Nanny Tam again. Everybody's saying hello. There is Virginia Alexander. Butler Family Farms is in here. And let's see who else we have. Jesse's in here this morning now. And Jerry's saying hello. There's Miss Andale. Good morning, Andale. Hopefully you're doing good this morning. There is Mrs. Lazy Days Ahead. She's saying good morning to everybody. Wendy said, hey, everybody, I can't tag on this iPad. There is Tamara, and she said one big blanket hello to everybody. She listed everybody's name. Hello to everybody. No tags, but everybody, you got your honorable mention in the name. Just so everybody knows, I believe everything has already been sent out for the prizes for Digging in the Word that we did the other night for that live. So be checking your mailboxes in a few days. So anyways, we have a guest this morning. We have two that are coming, but I don't know if Wendy is. I haven't seen Wendy yet, but there is Wendy. How many of us are night owls? She said, Wendy, are you coming up here? Because I thought you were coming up here. She's probably trying to get it together. So, but I do have somebody in the basement because we are going to talk about something that I am very interested in this year for Not for Nothing Homestead, and to help me switch some things up with the garden beds. So there is Tony. Hello.
Can you hear me finally?
Nope, I can't hear
Yeah.
you. No sound. He's like, I don't know what's going on. He was backstage earlier, and then he dropped back down and tried to figure it out.
I
And
rebooted
then,
everything.
do you have the link? Yes, I emailed it to you, Wendy. I sent it to you in an email. And I can tell you what email I sent it to you in just a second. Let's see. Oh, Tony went back down. This morning we are going well, Wendy, let me see if I can just post it in the chat, and then you can pop up from there. Let's see here. Hold on. Nope, that's not it. I'm not as good at this as Jesse. Oh, here we go. All right. Okay, Wendy, it should be in the chat. It's okay. No worries. But we're going to talk about hügelkultur beds. Okay, this is something that I'm very, very interested in starting like now, because I think now is probably a good time. And that was something I was going to ask Tony and Wendy, because Tony and Wendy both have hügelkultur beds, or have done hügelkultur beds. I know that I can hear Tony. You could? There is Debbie Drock. Good morning. She said I could hear him fine. I'm at work and can't respond, but hope everyone is doing well. Thank you, Debbie. Well, I don't know if it's just me. I'm assuming you can hear me as well. I don't know why I wouldn't be able to hear him. That would be nuts. Huh. I don't know, but we want to talk about hügelkultur beds. Now I can't see him. No, he's gone now, and he's gone from the basement too. He is done and finished and loud and clear. Okay, so you can hear me. Turn off your earbud. I don't have them in, Jesse. They're not here. No earbuds this morning. I don't know what that was going on. I don't know why that would have been like that. I mean, I see my little dots going. Anyways, I want to talk about hügelkultur beds and what to do to prep for them. So if you, the problem was not with Tony this time. I know, and he's probably going, what is going on with all my computer? And then maybe it was something I did. I don't know. I didn't have him muted. I promise, because I checked that. But I can hear you outside. Yeah, sure you can. Oh my goodness. We saw a bunch of deer playing outside in the field this morning. There was like, I think last count, Joey said there was 11 out there that were running around, which is nuts. All of them does. Every one of them does. But anyways, so we want to talk about hügelkultur beds. I know that you have to stack stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff, but I wanted to get with both of them and kind of ask them, you know, what to put in there, what not to put in there. Okay, Tony's back. I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank God.
Well, they said they could hear you before, but I could not hear you, and I didn't have you on mute because I was double checking to see if it was me.
Well, I'm right now like lagging way behind you. Let me see something here.
Okay.
Way behind you. That's repeat, so I gotta shut that off.
Okay. Hey, Teresa. Good morning.
Yeah, I see myself talking. I'm way behind.
Yeah.
I haven't used this live setup in over a year since 10 killer meetup.
Really?
Yep. The battery was different microphone, and I put a new one in there, and then I rebooted it. But I don't know what's going on.
Well, Miss Andell says yes, we can hear you both.
That's good.
And Wendy said it's given me a hard time. So I don't know if we'll get to see Wendy this morning or not. I know she has experience with hügelkultur beds too. You love yours, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And do you grow any root vegetables in your hügelkultur beds?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually, this past year, I went into trying. I started growing everything that I could think of growing. I want to grow in my beds, and everything worked really good. I've had my beds. I think this spring, coming spring, is 4 years.
Wow.
Now my beds are different than what you see on the interweb, you would say. Mine are big.
Yes.
Back 3 or 4 years ago, I had a problem with my knees and my back, so I decided I'm not bending over no more. So I made mine 3 foot tall, 5 foot wide, 10 foot long. Wow. I did 4 of them, but it does require a lot of wood. Well, guess what? Cabin in the woods. I've got a lot of wood.
You do.
A lot of down trees. So I made my own beds and just started building them.
What was like the first things that one of the most important things I want to ask is what not to put in the hügelkultur bed when you're building that base at the bottom. I know you want to kind of layer stuff.
What I did at the very, very, very bottom, I put a that fabric on the bottom so weed doesn't come up through. Yeah. But then I laid in. You do not use cedar. Cedar takes a long time to break down. I
Okay.
heard not use blackjack. I can't remember why, but I've got plenty of oak out here.
What's blackjack?
It's like a hardwood, like an
Oh,
oak, but very hard. I don't know. Remember the reason, but I heard that.
okay.
And basically, it's not just little twigs. I mean, I have a lot of blown down trees that were just laying there, and I probably cut them. I'm guessing about 1.5 feet tall,
Okay.
and I stacked them in standing up, side by side. Some of them I laid down,
Okay.
and once I got as much as I could get filled with, then I started using the sticks, stuff I could find on the ground. You got to remember, you're trying to do like back to Eden gardening in a way, but you're doing it in a hügelkultur bed. You're going to bring all that, your woods, into your bed. And I just started stacking all the sticks in there. Then I started putting in just like a soil to start breaking down with that. And then I did a layer of straw.
Yes.
And I went out in the woods and I got leaf mulch. I got my tractor and I just started scooping up all leaf mulch, even if it included sticks and branches. I didn't care because it's all right down.
And I've got a lot of that down front that we could, I say we, that's the figurative we. Joey could go down with the tractor and grab that. Good morning, Wendy.
Hey, Wendy.
Technical problem.
Huh?
I said I was having technical problems. It kept routing me to a QR code, and I'm like, I've never dealt with that before.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
So the second time you dropped the link, I was able to get in. So
okay, good. And just so both of y'all know, if you want to co-stream this, go right ahead, and then you can push it out to your audiences too.
I might mess that up, so I can take a chance.
right. Yeah, I'm too scared to touch anything. You know me.
Yeah.
But once I put the leaf mulch in there, and then I got that all set, and I actually still had some straw left laying around. I put that in there, and then I put in a regular soil.
Okay.
Scraped it from the woods, and then I came in and brought in compost, and I kind of tilled it all up really good.
Now,
and then
you brought it for homemade compost, or you went and got compost?
At our local dump, which is in where is that? Midwest City dump off of 36.
Yes.
I went there. They have a composting facility, and I actually went through there asking them about the chemicals or what is in there, and they went through the complete process and guaranteed that the soil that comes out is pure and it's beautiful stuff. And you can get the largest front end loader, and it's $20 or $25 a scoop. Wow. And I literally did a lot of my rock walls you see in my front of my yard. Yeah. All our flower beds. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many trail loads I got from there, and it's been all in our gardens. I filled my garden with that, and so that's what I did.
With it.
What's that?
You've had good luck with it.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And I know I'll be going there again maybe this spring. We'll see. I'm not going to be doing a big garden this year at all. I have to recuperate, and then I have another project thing I want to do that I have started that's not part of homesteading in a way. Okay. I might do the same thing Johnny does, go play around. I'm building it right now.
The video, right? Wait for the video.
Yeah, there's no videos going out yet, but it'll eventually start. But I want my garden to rest too.
Yes.
Now here's one thing with my beds. Last year I did a video and I showed how far my beds have fallen down. I have a board in the middle, and I kind of use it. And it went down. I think the least was like 6 inches, and another one was almost 12 inches. That the soils, everything had gone down. Yeah. Everything's composting down, getting down along the wood. Well, this year I've got the same exact thing again.
Really?
Yeah, it's dropped that much again. And now just think about it. Wherever you didn't get soil in and you put in that straw, every year I throw in my chicken waste, the hay, my goats, their area. Every bit of that gets tossed in there. And then, I rototill it. So that's all breaking down still. I mean, you're talking hay's thick. And then when it breaks down, it's down to nothing. So all this composting down. And this year I'll probably get another load back at that facility again to top everything off. But I'm probably going to grow onions, tomatoes, and maybe a couple pepper plants, and I'm done.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go gangbusters on tomatoes this year because I am out of tomato sauce, and I didn't do many tomatoes this past year, just like fresh tomatoes. Um, so I'm almost out of crushed tomatoes, which you can make sauce with crushed tomatoes too. So I'm using all that up, but there are a lot of things that I canned 2 years ago that you still got all 12 jars up in the cabinet. And I'm like, why did I waste all that time, all that effort, all those supplies on something that I am not even gonna ever eat? I mean, it's crazy how it's such a learning curve when to go from your garden to your shelf or your freezer or what have you. Um, but I've got a lot of cardboard. I've got a lot of, we've got a few down trees out here. I've got a lot of sticks and the leaf mulch, but we moved our chickens about probably 6 months ago. And I know I could dig up where they were. We just left their waste right there. We didn't do anything because it's quite a ways away. I know I could probably scoop it up, but I don't know that it would be ready to put in one of those beds for spring. Doesn't it need to rest at least a year?
Well, here's the rule of thumb that I've always known: is as long as the chicken poop is dried up, you're okay to use it.
Okay.
Now, every fall, I always took everything out of my chicken coops. The also same thing with goat poop. As long as it's dry, you can use it.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and I've put mine on my beds in the fall. It comes spring, I would till it with a pitchfork, and I'm planting it. And I never ever had a problem with anything.
Okay.
You mentioned tomato plants, tomatoes. I've got 3 with those kitchen garbage containers. What are they, like 7 gallons? I've got 3 bags full of tomatoes. I still haven't done nothing with yet. I can't right now. My knee.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
that's my big thing. But maybe next week I may do it. We'll see.
Yeah. I know you're still having some problems. I just finished. I watched half of your video yesterday. I watched the other half this morning, and I left a comment. And I don't know if you've seen it yet, but
I've seen it, but I haven't commented back yet.
Lily, I feel for her because I'm telling you, our chicken friendly Fran, I thought she was dead.
Yeah.
I thought she was dead. They had beat the mess out of her, and she was lodged. I had a waterer in the front corner, and the water was kind of pushed up against it so they wouldn't all knock it over. She was upside down on the opposite side. So she had squished herself between the water and the fencing. She was upside down and not moving or anything. And I just thought, oh my gosh, she's dead. Well, when I pulled her out by her backside, she started flailing. And then I just saw her whole head cone was all shattered. Head was just completely bloodied. I thought, oh my gosh, she's not going to make it. So I had to pull her back out of there. I mean, I had just reincorporated her after she had sat on some eggs in a separate coop. And man, that just did not go well for me. So, but she is alive and living with the ducks very cohesively. Go figure. I mean, the ducks don't bother her. She don't bother them. And all 6 ducks are now together. And Fran lives with them. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, as long as it works, it works. Right. But I feel bad about that. Yeah. So, Wendy, what do you put? How did you arrange your hügelkultur bed?
Okay. So, I don't know if any of you know that when we built the geothermal greenhouse, that top row, before we put the polycarbonate up, we put tons of logs and twigs down in the very bottom.
Okay.
And because the soil is, the big bags of those soils are very expensive.
Yeah.
And I think we had bought 10 of them, I believe, which is a lot of money. So we
Yeah.
were utilizing everything that we could. So I threw leaves down in there. I threw the logs, the twigs, everything we could before we put the soil on there. So we did that in the greenhouse. We
Yeah.
also did it on the back row of the greenhouse, which was harder because we had to cart it in and drop it down.
Yeah.
Because once that frame was put on, we couldn't. Over the years, I've never done hügelkultur outside of a bed. I've always done it inside the beds.
Yeah, in a raised bed. Now we have a few raised beds that we've put together, and we'll have some videos coming up. One of them we've already dropped, but we have a couple more that are gonna drop as well. So I have a lot of access to a lot of new raised beds, and some of them are really deep, and that is way too much dirt to buy, like you just said.
Yeah.
So I want to try that hügelkultur because I know it fills in a lot of those gaps. Plus, a lot of that stuff is very natural material that things grow very well in, especially when you create that open spacing in there. It's like they don't get impacted. And here in Georgia, and I think you guys both have it too, we have horrible red clay, orange clay. And it just, you can pot a plant. I mean, you can dig a hole, put a plant in there, and it almost compacts it like it's built a clay pot around it. And it just kills the pot. It kills the plant.
You need to see if your local, where they garbage place, they got to have a facility to recycle. Wendy, I'd be doing the same thing going this year, filling your plant things up with all that. My beds have no clay in them at all.
Yeah.
The big rule of thumb is when you water, I did a couple of videos on this. When you water your plants, your rule is you let your garden hose, you wet it down where everything looks wet.
Yeah.
And if that water doesn't go into the soil within 30 seconds, you need to add peat moss or something else because it's too much clay, compact stuff, or whatever it is.
Okay.
For a long time, I was just adding hay I had or whatever. But last year, I went and bought one of those big things of peat moss, and I added that in there. Well, 2 years ago, I did. And if mine holds water so good that I don't even have rain for a week, and I can dig down about 8 inches, and the soil's just moist.
Wow.
In fact, last year I found worms in 2 of my beds. That means your garden is doing great.
Mm-hmm.
Now
I'm taking notes because I really want to reflect on this because I'm really going to try very hard to get at least one of these sets of raised bed, if not more, filled with, because putting it directly in the ground it doesn't really work that well for us. I mean, occasionally you'll get that anomaly, but it's you pretty much have to do raised beds, which is a shame because we've got 18 acres. So I've got so much space that I could use for gardening, but you probably do fields on sides of hills, but I've got to get the soil to where it's more conducive for that.
Go to a sawmill and get sawdust too.
Oh, sawdust. Okay. All right.
Yep. That'll work as a good filler, a good separator, so your water drains in the soil, will break down with the soil.
I did that with the good wood that we used on the house when they did the cabinets. I told the guys, I said, hey, let me have all that. So since it was really good wood, I went ahead and put it all in on the top layer of that greenhouse, because when that soil settled down, it settled down to on top of the logs again. So I had to go buy another tote and add more. But as it breaks down, I also threw in there red wigglers. I had been raising them in a tote for a long time, and I just decided I was tired of doing that. And so I was like, here, go work in here. So I threw them in there, and they really worked hard.
Yes. And you can tell when the worms are working because the soil looks completely different.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a company that offers, you can buy it. It's a worm farm. Like I would dig in the middle of my bed, and you set this. It's like a plastic tub or something, and it has worms in it. And what you do is, like your leftover from your garden, I mean, that you do for cooking, your vegetables, whatever. You can just go ahead and pour. You open the lid, you can pour that in there, and the worms eat up that, and they live inside your hügelkultur beds. And I was thinking of doing that, but last year I started seeing the worms. I was like, all right, forget all that. We're doing it now.
Yeah, so you didn't need it. Okay, so it's like it's a worm farm that goes in your hügelkultur bed.
It's like a square box, maybe like a 1 pound plastic box. It just sits in there, and it's a worm farm.
Okay.
Wow.
And it's got like a grate. You pour all your stuff on top in, and the worms eat it, but they're also surviving. You know, they're crawling around inside your bed. And worm castings was one of the best fertilizers on a rabbit. So
yes. If you go buy a bag of worm castings, it's expensive.
you know, another thing to do is if anybody has a rabbits and you want to do your hügelkultur bed or just a regular garden, have it set up where your rabbits are on top of the garden.
Yeah. And
let them poop in your garden the whole time, because you can literally plant right away with rabbits.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. I don't remember who it was, but someone set their rabbit system on top of their hügelkultur bed, and they slid it along like once a week or something. They moved it and moved it again. And I thought, man, that's genius there. I always said if I had rabbits, that's what I'm doing.
Man, you don't have to shovel anything or cart it from one place to the other. I mean, it just rotate them a little bit further, so you keep an even spreading of the. Now, coffee grinds. Used coffee grounds you can put in the hügelkultur bed.
Yeah, you don't want to do a whole lot of it if you have a small bed, because it gets too acidy, I think.
Yeah, I've heard the pros and cons about that. Yeah, throw all your old coffee grounds. Well, I drink coffee. I drink coffee like nobody's business. So,
right. I would just put it in a big like a compost pile, and they should be okay. I wouldn't put coffee grounds right in the garden. You want to make sure you get it stirred around really good.
Yeah. Well, I see that Tamara has a question. Cardboard with a lot of printing ink. What about that? Now, I have pulled off all the stickers off, like a lot of my Amazon packages, and the tape. I know to do that. But if it has Amazon and their big logo printed on the side, is that box okay?
They say, go ahead. I'm sorry, Wynn.
That's fine, but the real shiny boxes with all
the waxy type.
I wouldn't use that.
Yeah. Okay. And Dawn Ray B said, what did she say? She uses somewhat uses hügelkultur in her watering tank raised beds. Be sure to use wood that isn't completely dead or that is treated for hügelkultur. How would you treat it?
No, well, I think she may be thinking pressure treated lumber.
Oh, okay.
I think, because I'm reading something else up higher, and she says no pressure treat or things railroad ties with oil or whatever. I think that's just kind of talking there, and do not use none of that.
Okay, I didn't see that comment. Okay, thank you for seeing that, Tony. Because yes, I did learn the railroad tie thing the very hard way. Already had a whole bed planted. The railroad ties were the outer perimeter and the inner perimeter to hold the bed. Actually, it's now loofah land.
Okay.
So it became a flower bed. So I was like, well, it can't hurt if it's flowers. Now, I've had that for going on almost 10 years now. I would think the oil from those railroad ties would have already leached out of that by now, but I'm not using it for a garden bed.
If you think about railroad ties on railroads, they last for 50 years or whatever before they replace them.
That's true. That is true.
Now, those ones I made was out of cinder blocks.
Yes.
And I did that. And because you can sometimes get cinder blocks for free, and that's how I got all mine. My first set I did. But or you can take a big tree and drop it and just leave that laying there as an edging.
Yeah.
And build across that way.
Now Joey's asking, can you use pressure treated scraps to fill the beds? I would say no, based on what Tony just said. So no, I guess just stick to the trees. Now we've had, let's see, James said rollers on top of pipes. I'm not sure what that is.
I don't know.
I don't know. Rollers on top of pipes.
Oh, sorry, Tony.
No, I'm trying to think of what he's talking about. What are you talking about, James? Explain.
Oh, Andell says Vigo Garden has one of those. So I think she's talking about the worm bed thing. Okay, I'm writing that down, Miss Ann, so I can go check that out.
Those Vigo garden beds are awesome. I don't have one. I'd like one, but you know how much money that would cost me for an acre garden? Yeah. I told Tom, hit the lottery, please. And he said, you got to go get a ticket.
Yeah, you got to buy a ticket. But I'm sure he was like, yeah, I would love to.
Right.
That's if you can find. Oh, she said her local retailer. Yeah, because I was buying bags of worm castings from Lowe's. And they do run. They run out pretty quick in the gardening season.
Right.
Yeah, Dawn told him too. No pressure treated or things like railroad ties with oil or what. Okay, I see that now. Sorry. I'm trying to catch back up, guys.
You can do like if you're in a small place or something, you can buy those rubber totes with the lids, and you can put some soil in there, and you could go to Walmart or any other store, because I hate Walmart, but you can go to their fishing section and get red wigglers, and you can throw them in there, because if you buy them from the greenhouse supplies places, you're going to pay 5 times the money. You're getting the same darn thing.
Yeah.
And you can throw your veggie scraps in there. You can do your own, and then you can just get a little sifter when you're ready to, when they break it all down, and then you could sift the worms, put them in a new container, and use that soil. That's what I've done over the years. But
remember, when you use containers to pop holes in the bottom, and just don't, when you put holes in the bottom, you should be put some kind of gravel, like a 1 inch on the bottom or gravel, so the whole, so the water does drain through.
And it doesn't pool, and because the dirt, speaking from experience, the dirt will clog the holes, guys. Just so you know.
Well, I didn't even cut holes, and I kept them inside from 2020 to 2023 maybe.
Wow.
You did good, because your soil does need air also. That's why, like Leon's gardening, he does those big feeders, and he adds a big the 2 6-inch or 4-inch piping under there. You got to look up Leon gardening. He does gardening in those feeder things for cows and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've done 2 of them. It was all right. I'm just going to stick to my hügelkultur bed.
Yeah. And I mean, it's working out gangbusters for you. You got tomatoes, cucumbers, pumpkins, the pumpkins you ended up with last year. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What is linseed oil? Christy said, I've heard of people painting untreated wood with linseed oil to make the beds last longer.
Yeah, it preserves it.
Okay. So it's something kind of more organic.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a good tip. So buy your castings early. I have a bait and tackle shop not far from me. And sometimes some of their worms, they open them up in the container. The worms are no good in there. Could you still throw that in with it as well, even though the worms are, because there may be 1 or 2 that are still alive.
Yeah.
It'll break down in the soil. I put it in there.
And it'd be good for it.
Another good thing, if you can get in with a bait and tackle, if they can get with you some fishing people that have fish that they don't keep, or they just put them down, I'll have the heads and innards, gather all that stuff up, is excellent. I used to put them under my tomato plants when I planted every year. I would dig down probably about 1.5 feet, and I would put the fish. I used to have we had freezer burned fish and coffee. I put them in there, and I put lime on top, and then I put some soil, and I put my tomato plants on top.
Oh, wow.
And those plants did really good. So you can find the fishes, you can get a lot of good fish waste.
Well, I know that he also, let's see, he's got red wigglers, he's got night crawlers, he has crickets, he has that he sells, and he also sells little small fish, not shiners. Maybe it is shiners. I don't know, but I'm guessing a fish is a fish is a fish. You could throw any of them in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Christy said fire ants in the South are so bad about killing the worms. Oh, that is. I'm so sorry. Yikes. Pour thin concrete mix down the fire ants door. Oh, wait. She's asking.
Isn't it, or is that to kill them?
I'm hoping that's to kill the fire ants. James said my grandfather put a plastic can with a lid outside the back door for anything organic to go in. Oh, kind of like a composting.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. Jesse said Lisa's raised beds are built using the hügelkultur process, but we did it because we had a ton of crap to get rid of before using soil. And that's it, because the soil is so stinking expensive, but the other stuff can be utilized in such a good way to create that void in the soil so it doesn't get compacted. So with your beds that are now dropping, Tony, what do you start from scratch with straw and twigs and then build back up, or are you going to have to?
I will probably either get if it's not going to be the chicken or goat, I'll probably get some more leaves, leaf mulch, and then I'm going to go back to the composting place, and I'll probably just need one trail load this year to top it off. I'll put it on top and let it sit. I really should be doing it now, or I should have done it, but I can't right now. I can't even sit still in my chair because my knees kills me. So I don't need to go outside right now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. And how are you doing today? I know you said in your video you go back to the doctor tomorrow.
Yeah. Last night, the night before, I got 5 hours of sleep in bed. What happens is my knee, it just picture a massive migraine, and it echoes. It wakes you up immediately. And with Angie gets up at 4 a.m. every day, I don't want to be there tossing and turning, waking her up. So whenever I wake up immediately, like this today, I woke up at 2:10, and it seems to be normal. I get about 2.5 hours sleep in bed, and that's been this past a week tomorrow. And then I come back out and I get on the couch on the recliner and just spend the day there. I don't get no more rest. I'm done.
Oh wow!
I don't sleep.
I'm so sorry. It sounded like that everything else has given you a problem except the surgery itself. The surgery itself is doing good. It's just everything that's surrounding it.
Yeah. It's my PT guy that's been helping me out. He's just saying he doesn't think it's I tore my MCL. He thinks it's something else that's just below it, and I forgot what he called it. And they're actually putting tape on my leg right where that's at in the last 2 days. It's made a difference. But he was not going to go, because I told him, well, check my MCL. And he says, no. I'm not touching that. Your doctor needs to do that, which will be tomorrow. And let him make the decision. He says, I'm not getting involved with me pulling on your joints and everything else yet. Let him do it.
Yeah.
But that's my problem. That's it. If my knee would quit doing what it's doing, I'm good. I wouldn't my left one come out so perfect, except for my hands.
Yeah.
from the allergic to the medicine. But anyway,
Yeah. The interrupted sleep is what really is crazy because you never get that full, even if it's just 6 hours in a row. Because when I had the twins, everything was interrupted sleep. I got like 2 hours here, 2 hours here, and maybe a half hour here. And that just will drive you insane to where you don't even know what day it is anymore. It's nuts. Well, okay, so I think I have a pretty good idea. We have a couple of pine trees that have gone down. Huh?
I wouldn't use pine unless because it's acidic.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I use that for blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, all the stuff that needs high acidity.
Okay.
Same with the pine needles. But if you like, especially with all your forest, you could have your sweetheart go down there, not near the pines. Give him some more work to do. He can't be first on every live stream.
I know he needs to be out there working in the yard.
Wendy wants to be first on a live stream. Let Joey get out and work.
Get to work. Maybe you could take a tractor if you have it, or I used to go and underneath the oak trees, and I would rake the acorns out of the way, and I would pick up the soil underneath all the trees, and I would go and put it in the beds or those tubs, and that makes great soil. You got tons of it there.
Yeah. Well, we don't have any acorn trees here. We don't have anything that drops acorns, but we do have, I think Joey calls them the junk oak or scrub oak or something. They're like junk trees,
That's fine.
But we have some of those. And we have plenty of them that are down and dead. So we've had those big windstorms come through here, and it has knocked quite a few down that were either on their way out the door dying or something like that. So I'm sure we've got plenty to choose from, but it just had a pine that was a widowmaker, and it was laying on another tree, and it fell across one of our paths that we use for a four-wheeler. And so we got that out of the way, and Joey just looked at it yesterday, the one that it was leaning on, and he said that one is dead too. He said, so that one will be going too. I don't know if that's another pine or not. We have a bunch of mixture of like junk oaks, and then we have some dogwoods.
Yep.
Are those okay? Like we have dead dogwoods. Okay. All right. So I think I know now, Wendy, where I'm going to direct Joey to go.
Joey's probably going that Wendy, I swear. He's not going to like me anymore.
No, he's not, but he's going to be just fine.
And tell him when he's done with that, he needs to do some more, because you never have enough.
Exactly. Tony, you look like you're uncomfortable. I'm so sorry. I wasn't even thinking you're sitting. So are you up and down and up and down and up and down, and that's what keeps it feeling better?
I'm just moving it so it doesn't, it's got that achy feeling right now, but that's all right. Okay. I live with it that way for now.
Is there anything that you can think of, either one of you, that you can think of that looking back you wish you had done different in your hügelkultur bed?
I made mine 5 foot wide. I should have made it 4 foot wide. I can't get to the center. My belly gets in the way.
Oh, Tony.
I do have a little step ladder I can use to get up there, but it really 4 foot wide. I love mine because I literally walk right up to mine and I garden. Don't have to bend over. Don't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours are nice.
And if you're going to me, I know a lot of people like to use wood, and a lot of that wood will eventually rot. I mean, mine will probably stay there for 30 years. I used cedar. A friend of mine, Wiley and Jen, I brought them, I can't remember how many cedar trees, and he milled up 2x4s to me. And that's how I build those hügelkultur beds out of the cedar. That's what the framing is. And then I put the sheeting inside. And that's that regular roof sheeting that you buy, whoever, it's 3 foot. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I had
Oh,
left a lot of that stuff.
yeah. Yours are huge, and I mean, they are awesome. I mean, you can tell by watching you. You just walk up, and they're like the perfect height for you to be able to reach in and get whatever you're trying to get to.
Right.
So, what about you, Wendy? Is there anything you would have done differently if you could do it all over again?
Well, yeah, the first beds that I did, so I could just walk up to them like Tony. I did all the pallets. They were too tall. I mean, they were the perfect size, but the Bermuda grass come up underneath them.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of issues with that kind of stuff. So we've been taking them apart and revamping the whole structure. One of the first things I learned the hard way on just a bed with a little bit of logs in the bottom was just a big, which you hardly ever see it in the video because it's got to be redone. I
Yeah.
threw in the boxes as is with all the tape and the labels, and that
Mm-hmm.
was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
And so I learned the hard way on that. But mainly my problem is the Bermuda grass. And
Mm-hmm.
so you have to put something in the bottom or you have to put a tarp or something down.
Some kind
Or,
of a weed barrier. So I was just going
yeah,
to ask you that. And I'm glad you said that, Wendy, because two of those beds that Joey and I are going to do the hügelkultur culture in, and I say Joey and I because Joey's going to get the logs for me.
Mhm.
I have nothing under them. They're straight on the ground. And one of them is in an area where we get a lot of weeds. Right now, they're all dead. It looks like golden soil, and the ground looks prime. But yeah, I can tell right now that you say that, if I don't put something under it, all that is just going to come up through the hygge culture bed.
Wendy,
yes.
you said that. My 4 beds I have the weed fabric under it. Well,
Mm.
last year I added, or 2 years ago, I added another above ground, but it was long and skinny. I forgot to put fabric under it. And all year last year, the first year and last year, I had grass going right up to the side of it.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was like,
man.
man, I don't want to take this apart for that.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
No,
the big,
I'm so glad you said that because
yeah,
we did not
I
put
honestly
anything.
wouldn't use weed barrier just from my experience. I just did not have good luck with it over the years.
Yeah.
And I was given some, so I tried to just use it and still had issues. So I was like, yeah, I would never purchase it. If you could find billboard tarps or something heavy duty that's going to last long term. But then
Mhm.
again, I still go buy the 6 mil plastic at
Yeah.
Lowe's. And I mean, yeah, there's all kinds of things that if I could rebuild those, I asked Tom if we could rebuild my 2 really long beds, and you don't want to know what he said. He goes, "Oh, you're freaking crazy."
Yeah. I think that was the PG version of it. Yeah, because
No,
I've
he said,
already
"You're freaking crazy. I'm not doing it." That was his exact words. Like, you're just freaking crazy. I'm not doing
yeah.
it because that was a lot of work to build those. Very expensive, but the plastic had we didn't pull the plastic up over enough.
Yeah.
And I stapled it, but then when the logs settled, they pulled that plastic in.
Oh, I see what you're saying and left a gap. Yeah. So make sure you use more than enough. Well, I
More
have
than
some weed fabric. Um, and it's the black with the green
Yep.
line through it. I have like 2 rolls of that.
There you
So,
go.
I'll probably just use that just
right.
because I
You
it's
have it.
done really good where I have the survival seeds garden on the hill. It's done really good there.
So you
So
maybe do you have Bermuda grass?
you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what Bermuda grass is. So
I think if you have it,
apparently
you
I don't.
know. Maybe
Huh?
that's why you probably have better luck. We have Bermuda grass and it
Mm.
has rhizomes and it goes in every direction and it grows horribly. It'll grow up through That's why those beds need redone. It grew up through there.
Now,
It
you're
taken
saying
over.
this is
Yeah.
grass, like blades of grass?
No,
No
it's
runners, long runners. It's
yeah.
crazy.
You
Now
pull
I
it.
have something that has long runners and then it'll bring up a bunch of little leafy looking things and then it'll run a little further. And so I have that. Is that Bermuda grass?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. It's a weed of some sort, but again, up on the hill where the survival seeds garden is, excuse me, that I put that weed fabric down. In some instances, I left it doubled instead
Yeah.
of holding it out. I just left it doubled, and nothing grew up under there
Well, that's good.
through it. So that was actually very good. Yeah. So
Right.
I'm going to try to use that in the bottom, but I'm so glad you said that because we put both the beds down and I've been throwing cardboard in there. So thank goodness we haven't thrown any logs or anything in there yet. I could just pull that cardboard back out and lay that weed fabric down to
Right.
make it better. And Joey said, I'm going to do what? Oh, the list is growing, my dear. The
Oh
list
yeah,
is
I'm
growing.
helping her. I'm helping her.
Yes,
Well, I'm
absolutely.
actually just trying to give good advice because of what I've done, and it's free. If you go use your resources around the farm, you can save a lot of money.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, I think Tony, didn't you do that too? Didn't you scrape under the trees with your
Yep.
tractor?
Yep.
I think I've seen some videos in the past, so I was like, well, I believe Tony's done the same thing. I had Tom do it. Now he did get a few cedar tree droppings,
Mhm.
in that area, but it hasn't affected. The pine will, but
Yeah.
the cedar is not. It actually helps keep bugs away. I mean, a
Yeah.
massive amount. So,
See,
yeah,
when I
he
build
does
my
it right.
when I build my beds, I actually hired a forestry mulcher, and he completely mulched my property line, 10 acres. So everything he mulched down, I was picking up, bringing them up, putting my flower beds along with, the trees, and then I scraped, for more stuff. So that's
Yeah.
where I got a lot of my mulch breaking down, because you want to do it in different sizes. You want the big, thick, heavy stuff at the bottom, and you want to make it smaller as it goes.
Yeah.
And that's what I had done. So
Okay. Wow. Yeah. I mean, there's so many things that are out there on your property that you can use. And that's why I'm so glad I've got you guys on here and talking about it because that one pine that I was telling you that just fell, I could go grab that. That would be no problem and it would fill a lot. But if I need to stay away from that, and I didn't know that. So I'm glad.
if you make your garden specific to what that wood would be, if you can handle it, the acid or whatever it is, then you're okay. But
Yeah.
if you
Right.
want to change it in there, you've got to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and that's that. I try to, and I'm not sure if you guys do this too. I try to rotate my crops every year in the gardens because I'm trying to outpace the stink bugs. They settle, they settle in the soil and they like hibernate over the winter in a bed. Well, last year they were where the squash was is where I put all the okra. Well, they don't like okra. So I was like, well, tough patooties. And I put the squash
Right.
somewhere else. So you're trying to outpace the squash.
Right.
But
No, it's actually good.
Yeah. See, with mine, every year I rejuvenate with all the animal waste. I'm talking about the chicken and the goat. So every one of my gardens I planted for the last 4 years has been the same exact thing in every garden.
Yeah.
I rotate them around, but that's because I've, rejuvenated everything all the time.
I hear you good, Wendy. I hear you. Yeah, you're good.
I see
Joey
how you are,
said,
Jesse.
I
Oh,
don't know. You see, Tamara, you two are ornery. Thank you, Tamara. Can you please call those boys out and keep them in line? If it's anybody's going to do, it's going to be Tamara for sure.
After the live stream, get him out there, get him to work in. He needs
Yeah.
to help you get your beds ready.
Well, he is out there. So, okay, so this is one of my, well, we're almost out of time, but I have this one last question. So you have the you don't put any rocks in it, right?
I didn't. Some people have, but I have not.
Okay.
What you want to do is you want your wood that you're putting in the basically rot.
Yes.
All right, worm gets in there, and you just want to process. Same thing as the woods. It's back to Eden gardening. All that breaking down. You don't fertilize your trees that's out in the woods. The plants, it's all natural. What your garden want to be is the same thing, all natural.
Yeah. So you get all that ready, get the compost, then you put regular soil on top of the compost, right?
I put regular soil, and then I put the compost on top, and I just tilled it with a pitchfork.
Okay. All right. And then it is ready to go. You don't have to let it rest or let it get broken down.
It all depends on how hot your compost is.
Okay. All right. So if you don't, like, I know we have a place where we can get rock, we can get gravel, we can get regular soil, and I think we can get compost as well. So if I don't happen to put any compost in there and I just put soil in there, you could start using it right away.
Yeah. I used mine right away as soon as I made it the first part of the year. I was like, either it's going to burn or I wanted to grow. Well, it was my thing, and it turned out good.
Yeah. I know, down there where the pigs were, when I let that, everything that they had eaten, all the pumpkins that I had thrown down there the previous year, I'm not sure if they did the whole process of going through the system or if there were a lot of seeds that were thrown astray from them just not being able to eat every single bit of the pumpkins and stuff. I had so many pumpkins down there. It was nuts. I couldn't believe it.
Dale did a video this past year about his pumpkin patch that was last year, and these pumpkins are growing up the trees and everything.
Yeah. Listen to Jesse and Joey are trying to get Tamara to go away so she'll stop getting on to him and keeping him in line. He's too funny.
I like Tamara. She'll keep them boys in line.
Yeah, that's what they need, is just a swift whooping on. Okay, so any last thing that you would say, either negative, positive, tips, anything else you can think of about a hygge culture bed?
I think if I did it again, I would layer a little bit of leaves down on the bottom, put the logs in, try to layer some more leaves in there into those void spaces.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that it broke down so fast, especially with those worms, that the bed dropped down onto the logs so quickly.
Oh, wow.
And so I was just trying to think of ways how I'm going to do the new ones as I'm building them. Everything but the potato beds. I'm trying to layer and build and stuff. That way, as it's breaking down, it won't drop so far.
And you said don't use pine needles.
I wouldn't unless you're doing like blueberries or the berries, things that need acidity. You don't want to do that. No.
Okay. Because I got pine needles for days, literally.
Yeah. I bet you do down there in Georgia.
Yes, they're everywhere. And what about you, Tony? Any last?
The only thing I could think of is I'm going to touch base real quick. One thing that when you talked about how fast the soil dropped down, but you also got to remember the soil dropped down because of the leaves you put in there, the hay you put in, that all broke down. So if that was that thick when you started, it's down to like right here. So all that soil dropped, and I know that's what happened with mine. I knew I would be going through the same thing for 2 or 3 years once we get this thing settled. But big thing is, to me, because I love my hygge culture bed, make it to last. Make it to last. Make it to last. Because I love it so much. I'm so glad I didn't go a cheap way out or do something. And And I just had extra metal laying around, so it really wasn't much. I almost did mine for free, but
Yeah.
Make them to last because you're going to like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to do this like this. Number one, I'll tell you, the number one reason that I started thinking about it is because these beds are so deep. I was like, who can afford all that soil? And I'm not going to be able to reach in there. So
remember, I know you use water from your rain catchment system. Remember, if you don't make them too bad, that all that wood when you water stays wet, so it keeps all that soil wet and moist also. And that's one thing about hügelkultur bed. It stays wet down below.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
much watering.
So I know I've done straw bale gardening before, and I heard you say straw, and then I also heard you say hay. Which would you do? I've heard straw is more absorbent.
Straw, but when if I need it, because out where the goats are, they eat hay.
Yeah.
So I eat the area that's all their poos with it. So I do both, but straw is better to put in first, but I use the secondary, the hay.
Okay, so either one is fine.
You got to be careful. You don't want, to me, you don't want to use hay right away from a feed store because it has seed in it to grow.
That's a good point. You're going to end up with something you don't want.
That's why I go to the goat area where it's been on the ground for 6 months or 3 months. I know it's not growing. Rake it up. I throw it in there.
Yeah. Okay.
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah. I have learned that the hard way myself as well. Let's see. Charles is in here from Bushcraft Family. Thank you, Charles, for coming in. We're almost done, but he said don't use green logs or branches because it takes nitrogen to break them down.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
That's why everything I did was had fallen from wind and been sitting here for 6 months to a year. Broken branches. That's where I gathered all my stuff up.
Ours had sat there for a few years because we had that really bad ice storm. Do you remember what year that was, Tony?
That's been about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That was probably when we had the -18, which actually I think 3 or 4 years, right around that time we had -18 degrees. People's toilets were blowing up, busting out because they were freezing. And this is people in houses, not in like, a raised area like we're at, or a camper even. This is actually a house. Their toilets were freezing up and blowing out from the frost because it got so stinking cold here. So every once in a while you'll get one of those really, really bad storms. But doesn't that kind of freezing of the ground do something to it to make your next year's crops better?
I don't know. I mean, if it helps break the wood down, but I don't know.
It kills a lot of the pest.
Okay.
Press the pest pressure. But here in Oklahoma, I think it would take a miracle to kill the pest pressure.
Yeah. We don't get cold long enough to do that for it to happen that way.
Yeah, Charles just said kills bugs. So that is good. Although, again, it's horrible for everybody's pipes and toilets and sinks and all that. We lost some piping under the house, got frozen, and it cracked when it thawed back out. And we had a faucet that the head of it just completely blew out as well. I mean, that was a bad year, and you could go to Lowe's or Home Depot the next 3, 4, 5 days after that, and there were no plumbing supplies. It was wiped out around here. Oh, Joey said, what about adding ashes?
Yeah, that's really good. Now, it'll bring the acidity down, so you just use a little bit.
Okay.
But you know what I do, if this helps you, this is really good for your chickens, to throw that ash in your chicken coop and in your pen. and then they fluff. And then you can use it because then it's mixed with all the manure and it's not going to drop your acidity down.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right. Goodness.
So just some ideas.
Yes, Christy, you are right. I had frozen clothes. My washing machine froze too. That's right. No, you were not thinking of somebody else, Christy. That was me. That was terrible. Well, Wendy and Tony, thank you guys so much for coming up and talking about hügelkultur beds. I am so excited to get these started. And the first thing I'm going to do is go out there and move them and put down some weed fabric. Because I completely forgot about that. So, and I don't want grass or weeds growing up through them. So definitely going to do that. Anything you guys got coming up that you want to promote, you're welcome to shout it out so we all know. No?
I've got just restoration and, you know, building the beds, and I've done a few videos already where we're cleaning the farm and fortifying the potato beds and getting beds built. But I can do a video where I can show you the log pile that we've got.
Oh gosh.
Of all the wood I can use in hügelkultur beds. So this is a perfect topic because I am very big into that.
Yes. Well, you see Lisa down there. She said, this has been great. Thank you all for sharing the information.
Yeah.
Yes, I have learned a lot, and I like learning from other people's mistakes.
Right.
And I'm sure they love to share that, you know. Well, we try to do that with our kids, but you know, they know everything. So they're going to do it on their own, and they're going to do it better than we did. But I am humble enough and old enough to say, listen, I'm going to learn from what you did wrong. So please tell me.
Exactly. Right. That's what we're for. And you can always call me if you have any questions. I'm sure Tony's way.
Yep. Thank you guys so much.
Winnie and I only live about 30 miles apart.
I know, that's so crazy, isn't it?
We didn't even know each other until a YouTube meetup, I believe. And I used to live close to where she lives now.
That is so funny.
You should have moved. You would have been my neighbor.
Yeah.
I wanted more acres. I wanted to be away from everybody.
Yeah. Oh, I get that. I get that. I want to be away from. I try not to people out there in the world as much as I can because they're crazy. Those people are crazy. I like these people right here.
Right?
Those people out there outside that window are crazy. All right, guys. Well, we'll let everybody go. We held them up a little over an hour, but that's okay. The first 10 minutes of the live was trying to get everything together. Tony, thank you so much for sitting through this. And I hope your doctor's appointment goes well tomorrow. And we'll definitely be looking for either a post of an update, or if you can do a short video to let us know how you're doing. And Wendy, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your stuff too. And I am going to look up that Vigo Garden worm bed. I'm very interested in that as well. So anyways, all right, guys, have a great week. God bless, and we'll see you later.
All right. Take
care, everybody.